play with, and I got really confused why I had over 9 pings after I just cleaned everything out on Discord. And it was just a group chat. But I got really worried for a moment, because I thought someone was messaging me, like, hey, there's something horrible happening.
Oh god.
But no, they're just playing video games. Oh. Hi, little man. Hi, sweetheart. Do you not want to talk to me right now? He's in my doorway.
Oh.
Yeah. Brisket's really clingy. I'm gonna tell you all about my cats.
Tell me.
But Brisket's super clingy. Toby could care less about anything ever. Brisket hates being like more than 5 feet away from me.
Oh.
Which is fine. Except when I leave the house to get groceries and he just begins crying. And I knew this happens. But my parents didn't realize when I kept telling them he's really clingy. I meant he was really clingy. So they were like, yeah, you went to go get groceries and he just started sobbing. He wouldn't stop crying. And I was like, yeah, probably. But Toby kind of does his own thing.
As he should.
Hello, man. Yeah. What else? Yeah, you wanna come here? Hey, Bubs. Come here. I'll hold you up to a camera and you'll get really confused. Toby! 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 He has a cute little collar. It's all purple.
Oh.
You content? You love 7 Days to Die. Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah. I'm mad. You can lay on the countertop next to me.
Let's go.
They have a chair next to me as well.
Oh. Difficult. Oh. Me?
Pretty please. Yeah. I don't know where you are.
Oh dear.
Oh, a deer. I just walked into a location.
Oh.
Oh.
Why did
You
I
do
just...
have different clothes.
That was weird. I heard like a breath. Oh, speaking of clothes,
My
they
fault,
changed.
I'm breathing in your
They
ear.
changed clothes for us too.
Mm.
So instead of individual items, as far as like for your armor and your clothing, it's outfits.
Interesting.
Yeah. The only things that are separate, because it's like pants and shirt are together, it's then gloves, footwear, and headgear. So like when it tells you to make clothes instead of making the pants or whatever it used to tell you, it tells you to make a primitive outfit. And you can also make better primitive outfits based off levels. And then eventually make non-primitive outfits. I don't remember what those are called. But you can like learn how to make a bunch of different outfits. You can buy them. There's like the fucking assassin outfit, biker outfit, nerd outfit, nomad outfit. You'd be a fucking nerd. Scavenger outfit, rogue outfit. And I think, yeah, they all have their own like perks to them. alongside the like general safety aspect.
Mhm.
Improves armor crafting skill. It's like we were just talking about this. That's
What?
crazy. That's weird.
Ugh, it's listening.
Don't listen to me.
All around the moving. Sorry, I'm like chasing this woman in circles around a chair because I'm trying to loot this house.
Wait, what is... Is that another town? But then that also looks like it might be... Oh, that's where you are. I think, or
Oh,
maybe
it's
not.
just
Maybe
one
not.
single house if it's where I am.
No,
Cornmeal.
it's not. Opposite direction. I apparently just cannot.
Mm,
Even though there's a compass, I don't know my fucking directions.
yeah. I
Oopsie.
got an ear of corn.
Woo!
Yay! Anyone in the bathroom?
Anyone here?
I hope no one's in the bathroom.
What level is
Might
this
make it
place?
wrong for me to walk in.
Jack and Sally's Getaway.
Oh my.
Yeah, once you're done over there, if you want to come, if you're not already planning to, come towards me, because I've got the town over here. And then past me is our boy the trader.
Ooh.
Or is he closer to you? No, he's not. He's further south than you. I can also make you a primitive outfit level 2.
OMG, really?
Yeah!
For me?
For you!
Oh, I'm so special. Don't jump over the thing. It's weird. You're on fire. So shut your mouth. Don't touch me either.
Okay, Ooh, thank you. Ah.
Can you like burn to death already?
That moment when the person you're trying to kill is not burning fast enough.
I know, right? It's
Unbelievable.
so inconvenient.
I can't tell if the
No,
trees are
stay
not
down.
loading in or what, but the opposite direction of you looks like it might be wasteland.
Oh.
Yeah. Have we ever ventured into different biomes together?
I don't think so.
Because I know I prefer to stick to this biome just because it's...
Yeah.
They're trying to trick me. They put garbage in front
Like,
of the door.
I've been in like 1 or 2 other biomes, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like the winter one, or not winter, snow. And I left there quickly because there was like wolves.
I am trying to remember. Whoa, is that a big hole in the... It is. I think I've only ever like slightly stepped foot into the snow biome and the wasteland. I haven't been in any of the other biomes since like several updates ago. It used to be that like back when I played it on Xbox, the fucking wasteland was so common that I was in it constantly. It was probably like at the time it might have been even easier than the first, honestly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because like zombies were not super prevalent there. The only thing that was more difficult was that because it was the, wasteland, there were like no buildings. It was all this like same template of like mostly, well, almost entirely destroyed building. It'd be literally like the corner of a room left with like a couple things you could loot, like cabinets or whatever. Like it'd be like, I don't know, the corner of a bathroom, so there'd be like a toilet there and a sink that you could loot, but that was it for the building. Like there weren't any doors, there were barely walls. Um or there'd be like, it'd be like the quote unquote kitchen, so there'd be like a fridge and cabinets and things. But it was mostly the same, and you couldn't find jack shit, but also you were kind of safer. So
Yeah.
That was also back when you could find turds in the toilets and then you could throw them at people, which my brother and I did all the time. We would throw the turds at each other, or he would pretend to eat them, and then I would scream because we were children. Is
Yeah,
that a person?
as you do.
Yeah.
I just got a stun baton.
Oh, hell yeah.
I also have a tempered blade mod.
Oh, sick. If you make a spear, you can throw that on your spear for a little extra damage.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
See if there's anything else. Head out.
Back when there were turds, it was also way easier to get disinfected, I think. So, like,
Yeah, probably.
so like where now there's the whole system of being able to get dysentery and like you can make goldenrod tea and everything to heal yourself. Like they had that back then, but it was more fucking necessary. Like I don't think I ever played without getting dysentery way back when. Oh god. You scared me.
Well,
There's a crawler climbing down a spiral staircase at me.
oh. That's unpleasant.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't the stuff of my dreams.
Yeah, maybe nightmare.
Maybe. Can you die already? Jesus, thank you. Damn, how is your health so low already?
Oh, I was punching things.
Microwabe.
Is she micro on my wave or something? I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
I don't work here.
I don't work here.
I have so many lead car batteries.
Oh god, hello. Oh yeah, you're definitely different. The stripper used to have a different dress. Oh, they also have names.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Like Sally and Jeremy.
Yeah. It used to be that they were just called like these random titles for like the different models. So like I could point her out to you if I saw her, but I don't know, and
Yeah.
I couldn't say any descriptive. So, like she was called the departed mother, and then there'd be obviously
Yeah.
like the nurse or whatever.
The departed mother sounds so sad.
Yeah. And now they have like, ooh, a hunting knife. Why is that in the toilet?
You know, I dropped in there when I had it in.
Fair. But
I'm in
like,
your house, by the way.
hello. Yeah, now they've got names. Like for instance, I feel like we've talked about it before. I like your long pink hair.
Thanks.
Very nice.
I thought it suited me.
I picked mine just because I wanted to. I wanted him to have mutton chops.
Yeah, fair.
I was thinking Jay Schlatt a little bit, but with
Yeah.
a mohawk. Yeah, do you see over that way? Doesn't it look like it might be wasteland or something?
Oh yeah, it does look weird. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want to go there.
Wanna go check it out, quick?
Yeah.
Let's go. But yeah,
Do you have a dog in your room? Or am I crazy?
I do not have a dog in my room.
Maybe I heard Toby then. It sounded like an echo of like a collar shaking.
Huh.
So I wasn't sure if it came from you or like the lo-fi playing in the background. And the lo-fi seemed unlikely.
But yeah, they all have
Did you
names
know
now,
that?
and there's like, I don't know if we've ever talked about it, how there's a zombie zombie like boar in the game, which I didn't realize.
No.
Yeah, so apparently I don't remember if it ever like roamed around like all the other animals or if it was just like specific places you can find it. But now at least it's a specific place. It's like 2 specific buildings that you can find it. Oh!
Fuck out of here, brothers.
Bro, how did that not go in your ass? Hold on, let me take my hunting knife. Oh, okay. Rah.
Yeah, get him.
Yum. Oh yeah, that
Working
looks.
good tonight, August.
Is that a city?
Maybe.
I see tall buildings.
Why are there more? Oh.
Oh, that's scary. I don't know if I like this.
Ooh.
Oh,
There's
another
more
one, another one.
vultures.
Oh dear. Wait for the dive.
Oof. That hurt a little bit.
Oh.
Eat some food.
But yeah, so there's a zombie boar. There's only like 2 or 3 buildings you can find it in. And its name is Grace.
Grace.
Yeah. Apparently it used to be a thing, like it was a whole meme in the fandom and in the community about Grace, but I just never saw it because I only entered the fandom after like a more
Yeah.
Oh god.
There's a big motherfucker over here.
Yeah, I only entered the fandom after like the more recent updates. Oh!
Awesome.
Look at him writhe. Oh, you know, I could have used that chance to keep stabbing him a little bit. That was
That is what it's for.
Don't burp at me, you nasty ass mother trucker.
That's impolite.
Got his ass. But yeah, see
How do
that
you
see
know
this? This was more
Yeah.
like what you found in the wasteland. Oh, there's a zombie dog. There's a zombie dog. Come this way. Come this way. Opposite direction.
Ooh. I
Maybe
don't like
let's
those
leave.
doggies.
Maybe let's leave.
Yeah, it's a 2 skull. I don't quite have that many.
Yeah, I don't know if we're prepared for this. Who am I
Yeah,
kidding?
might
I know
need
we're
some
not.
clothing. I might need some clothing for that one.
Oh, speaking of clothing, let me make you
That guy.
the outfit since I can make a level 2. What do I need for it? Plant fibers. Okay.
Yeah, fuck this grass up.
You're encumbered. Suck my dick. Okay.
For real. Encumberment, more like enslumberment.
Here you go. Oh, there's a lady behind you. My
I'm
lady.
scared of women.
Typical gamer.
I can't be around women. They're too scary.
Oh shit.
Hey, that's awesome.
Stay the fuck down.
Goodness.
Okay, I think we
Roll
have
your corpse
options.
towards me.
Do we want to go directly to the trader, figuring that it should be in a town, or do we want to go to the town closer to us and then hit the trader?
Let's go to the town and then the trader.
Okay.
Because then we might have a little bit more, like, quote-unquote gear, I guess.
Right. I think the town
Even
was...
though trader's safe, but...
If only we could stay with him, that greedy motherfucker.
I know. Kicks you out.
Yeah. So what?
What a dick.
For all we know, he might be connected to the same town, so that might work out.
I thought you were gonna say, like, the government. I don't know why. I was like, I don't know anything about the 7 Days to Die, Lord. What?
Well, speaking of the traders, now each of the traders is assigned a specific biome. Like in the forest biome, you'll only ever find Trader Wrecked, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The original trader, Trader Joel, is in the wasteland, I think, which I think is bogus.
Oh.
He should be with us, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's why they put him in the wasteland.
No idea. I feel like the name Wrecked fits the wasteland better
Yeah.
than Joel. And then Trader Jen is in another one, and then there was a trader that I had never heard of before, I don't think. It might have been just something basic, like Trader Bobby or something. I don't know.
Mm.
Look at that!
I'm gonna eat eggs.
Yum yum yum. What, are you hungry? Or are you just
not
trying to get
really,
your
I'm
health
just
up?
low on health. Yeah.
Gotcha. Man in the
And
street.
I don't want to use band-aids.
Not a man in the sheet.
Probably for the best.
What we got? Ooh, medical journal. Duct tape. Oh, this is the departed
Farm
mother.
lady.
This model is departed mother. Yep. I don't know
Yeah.
why I remember her out of all of
I would say she's kind of a departed mother.
them. Oh dear,
she
she's
does
still
kind of look like a mother.
electrified.
Yeah.
Weird.
Happens.
It happens. Oh, what
Happens to
is
the worst of us? Bunny!
get his ass? The Wagon Diner. Wait, why does this have a Navsgain sign? This is a Navsgain? That's weird. Oh, a gift shop. Fun. Oh,
Yay, we can get gifts for our family now.
There's another departed mother. How many mothers are there? Stop reproducing. Stop it.
I couldn't get it.
Oh,
He's too quick.
there's a tent over here.
Oh, yay.
There might be supplies. Ooh, a pipe baton. Yay.
Ham sandwich.
Remember.
Everything got
Don't eat it.
gray.
Oh, did you? Are you okay?
Everything just became a grayer tone.
What did you do?
I just ate the sandwich.
No!
This is food. Give me like a 2 health.
It gives health minus
Ugh.
5, and it has a chance of
Really?
dysentery of 12%. Oh my god.
It's minus 5 health. I'm throwing this shit out.
No, keep it. It's good for funny enough, it's good for making health stuff.
What the hell?
You can't fucking eat it, but you can use it for recipes for health things.
I'm going dumpster diving. I only find iron.
Rawr. Come out here. Rawr. That was such a dramatic fall on his part. I shot him and he like doubled over onto his hands and knees, was like, oh.
Oh no, I've been shot.
He's like, this pain is a pain I've never experienced before. Is that another? No, it's not.
To me.
I almost lost my shit. I thought there was a third departed mother. I was like, no fucking way right now. What is this place? Oh, there's a flag. Is this a fire department?
Nope. The water department.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a high school.
No.
It's a 5 school. Oh dear.
They got some zombie kids in there. That's messed up.
Did you ever watch The Walking Dead?
I mean, I watched a little bit.
It's like the school from season 2 when they had to get the shit after Carl lost his
Yeah.
almost lost his life.
Yeah. Probably deserved.
True. I remember, I think I stopped watching after season 4, maybe. I remember I got to
Wait.
the prison, and then once all the shit happened at the prison, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Hello. Hello. This place, I think, has either boars or wolves.
It has one human.
Ow. Don't stand too close to the barbed wire, apparently. Careful, I think that building has the boar and or
The borf.
the borf. The bulf.
The bullfrogs.
Here's
I'm
something.
getting the corn.
Some weird ass break the ones that look green.
all.
Those ones will give you corn. All the other ones will just give you plant fibers. Yeah, stop breathing in my ear, would you? For fuck's sake.
No.
Oh.
I can't breathe super loud. I'm bad at it.
Oh, I think there's a bunny dying somewhere.
Oh, that's sad.
All I hear is it screaming. Jesus. Dear
Hey,
Jesus.
can you die a little quieter?
Can you quiet down? I'm trying to watch my tunes.
Yeah. Why are you watching tunes? Are you just like looking at the album covers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
I'm listening to music and imagining all different music videos for them.
Oh yeah, I love doing that. It's very fun.
Can you stop?
Yellow bag.
Yellow bag.
Yellow bag.
Haha. Haha.
Oh, got
Haha.
that dog in me. Yes, got that dog in me. Got that dog in me.
Oh
guys.
no! Oh dear! Oh, he yumps. They changed the look of him. He's got new animations now. Well, he won't be for long.
I wish I
Oh,
could
no.
be a friend.
Oh, how did you get through? Well, there he goes.
Well, that's good.
Hey, what's in here? Ammo! For the gun I don't have? Gee,
Yeah.
thanks.
How much you love guns for the guns and
Can I go
ammo and
through
the
this?
ammos and guns.
No, I can't. Oh, all the doors are locked except for that side one.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Hello? Oh,
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Where is it going? Where is
Erm. That's not normal.
it stopped on this fence over here.
It died? Is it dead
It's
yet?
dead.
Or like,
It's been dead. It's just the fucking body crawling across the ground.
oh, that's messed up.
It's like that one time
Who
with the
did
fucking
this?
chicken.
Oh gosh.
Except this one isn't floating. Good to know some things never change. What the fuck?
Tempered blade mod.
Oh my god.
I have a tempered blade on my sphere.
Crying.
Nope. I meant the other thing. Not, I meant spear, not sphere.
Mhm.
My fault. I have cornmeal, potato seeds, and corn seeds.
Wow. I have, I think, a yucca seed.
Mmm. More like yucky seed.
Yucky.
Ew.
Gross. Grody.
Ew.
There's a pond. Can I drink from the pond? Wanna
No,
try?
but I can take a bath.
Wow. Oh. How am I? Am I okay? I seem okay.
Do you feel okay?
I think I'm okay. I know there's a higher chance of dysentery if you're drinking directly from that. But,
I don't want the note.
yeah, fuck that note.
Yeah, I don't appreciate people sending me notes.
I can't read.
For real.
Okay.
This thing can't stop me. I can't read.
Oh, what are you doing? Thank you.
Hanging out.
Shadow just like leaned back and hung his head off the desk and just sat there for a second. Like his
You
head
know when
his
you
head
need,
was just
like,
hanging,
blood flow?
but he wasn't like sleeping or anything, so you couldn't even say like, oh yeah, he just rolled his head off by accident. No, he's just purposefully having his head hang off the desk for whatever weird
That's a
reason.
little stupid.
Yeah, not wrong there. The
Just a little
crisp
guy.
residence. That's
Ew,
hilarious.
ew.
Oh, is it the burn victim?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fucking
I
weird.
love my burn victims, but burn victim corpses look bad. When you've survived, it looks normal. When you're dead, looks fucked up.
On a scale from fucked up to fucked up, that's fucked up. Ooh, a burning
Fucked up.
shaft mod. I want my shaft to
Whoa.
burn. Oh,
I
look at
think
that!
I think that means you should see a doctor if that's burning.
No. No. Weird.
I think you might have a disease
Oh, no, no, no.
of the genital variety. if
Aw.
you're- Ow.
Ah!
I'm crazy on my corpse. That was insane.
Oh, you're dead. That's alarming. Oh, she's on fire. Fire to the
So fire. She's walking on fire.
What's this? Oh, there's a basement. No, thank you.
The Sluminate Apartments.
Well, at least they're honest. Ooh, a cooking pot. So I'm assuming the Stinkies got you. Oh yeah, wow. Look at my
Boys. Ooh, that is pretty cool.
dude. Between you and me, we can electrocute and burn them. 2 of the 3 torture methods.
Woo!
Ooh, I,
What's next? Drowning?
yeah.
Yay!
I'm ready.
I'm so excited for the drowning update.
The drowning update. Ooh,
You already
potatoes.
cleared the top floor?
I think so. I think there's stuff in that back room though. I fell through the floor, so I didn't get a chance to thing.
Well, parkour.
Garbage? Garbage pile on top of the fridge. That's weird.
That's where I keep my garbage.
Oh, so I'm the weird one then. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a cooking pot. We can cook pot thing.
We can cook pot?
We can cook pot. Oh, hey, there's a fire truck back here. Why? Welcome.
What do you mean, why? Wait.
Oh.
I have an idea on why there was a fire truck back there. And it might have to do with the state of this house.
There's also a basement we still gotta hit. Oh my god. Got her. Oh, that is the most ramshackle shack I've ever seen.
Oh, the mesh back in my day.
If you look at the walls, it's all the metal that you can break in one hit. Oh, so it wasn't just an isolated incident. Both of them were on fire.
Wow.
Pretty.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa, he got faster.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing.
How many of there are you? Your turn. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Hey! We got him for a minute.
You know?
Damn.
Oh, wowzers.
Water.
Yay, water.
Yay.
Band-aids.
Hey. Need those.
Woo. I always need those.
Oh, wait. Give me the potatoes. Thank you. Trying to skimp on potatoes. What the fuck? Hey, you didn't search this toilet.
Oh. Oh, I didn't even see the toilet.
Ooh. I can make a stone spear quality 2.
Oh, quality 2.
Quality 2. Okay, basement time.
Basement time.
I like basements.
I love being sent to the basement.
Oh, there's a... Oh, I think there's a kindergarten or something over there, or a daycare. That's worrying. That's what I want them to add. I want them to add child zombies.
I think it'd probably be like, you know how GTA doesn't do children?
Yeah.
Probably something like that.
Oh, okay,
It's like morally.
okay.
not right.
Morally. Where'd I punch it shit?
Yeah, take down the door.
Yeah, break the door. Open the door.
The door.
Throw rocks through the window.
That's boring.
He's burning. Oh, get his ass. Nice. Teehee. Okay. The only
So
issue
where's this basement?
right here.
Oh.
The only issue with the burning shaft is I can't sneak up on anything because the light lets them know I'm here. It's okay. Oh, nice. The
He's
blinds.
done. Let's freaking go. I got a gun.
Hell yeah. What kind of gun?
Type rifle.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
Oh, I also got a, structural brace mod.
Oh, nice. I don't remember what that does, but I think it's good.
I would assume so.
Who are you?
Maybe it just
Do you not have an axe?
No. Lab equipment.
Fort bites.
Thought you said Fortnite for a moment. I was like, I don't think they had that.
Oh, since we're looting places, there are more crates like this one, except they're not labeled. So they're easier to pass over. They look more like this one did when we didn't break through it. I think they're
Oh, yeah.
typically called hidden stashes. And like I said, they don't have like a label on them, and they don't have a picture on them. They just look like a box. Just a heads up.
Inconspicuous crate number 7.
Do we want to clear the dome thing that's right across the way from us?
Oh,
The
yeah.
cock?
Yeah.
Time to clear the cock.
Thank goodness.
Figured this could be our probably last thing to search for the night, and then
Yeah.
move on to staying somewhere for the night. Sleeping.
Probably stay in the cock.
We could stay in the cock. I am down for staying in the cock, personally.
Huh?
Oh, hello.
No, hi. All about the technicality.
Tell me.
Look at him. Oh, duffel bag.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, they got knuckle wraps in here.
Oh,
My knuckle
wow.
wraps now.
Hola.
Whip. Oh, I forgot that knuckle wraps are for hitting, not armor item.
I'm going in.
I believe in you.
There's only 2 of them, and one's still sleeping somehow. Wakey, wakey. Imagine being woken up by a spear to the face that immediately lights you on fire.
Yeah.
I think I'd be traumatized, personally.
I mean, when you're dead, you're dead.
Locked in.
Locked in.
In. Campfire. Here's an axe. You need a bone knife?
No.
Okay.
I have a bone knife.
Yuck these bones then.
Yeah.
Don't yuck my yum.
Don't yuck my yummy.
Oh, they changed the chests too. So instead of chests, they're crates. And you can label them.
Whoa.
Yeah. Look at this
That's
shit.
awesome.
Ready? Hold on.
Some things.
7 things.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice already, they changed they added things to the sound in the game.
Oh, I don't know if I've noticed.
Yeah, so when you like pick up different items in your inventory, they make more realistic noises to what the item is.
Mm.
Okay, the 4 fights. Poor boy.
Do you have charred meat you would like to?
Yeah, I do. Get my meat in my cooking pot.
I'll drop my meat.
Thank you.
No problem, brother.
I can get a 6 pieces.
Yay.
Right.
Let me get a 6-piece.
I gotta get a 6-piece nugget.
No one 6-piece nugget.
I've also got 2 rations on me. Got lamb cuts and chicken.
Oh wow.
Diversity.
I have some cornbread.
Nice.
Ooh, I also have ears of corn.
Oh hell yeah. Once we get a
I
grill, we
just-
can grill the corn.
Yay!
What does it take to fix this? Oh. We have just the one. Oh no, we have 2. Okay, cool. My hunting
What are you
knife is
fixing?
pretty low to repair it.
Oh, yeah. What can I do with cornbread again?
You can use it with water to make. I would say we probably won't want to do that because cornbread's better than nothing, but it does decrease your water. So that on top of taking away a water bottle to risky right now.
Yeah.
If you're hungry, the charred meat is done. At least one of them is. Ooh, speaking of food, there's a food pile over here with a water bottle in it. Oh,
Gee.
scary.
What? Oh,
The
the
drone.
music.
Yeah.
I have like really peaceful lo-fi playing as well right now. So I mean,
Good call.
I just thought they were being all scary.
Yo, why is your claw
Being
out
all
like
scary
that?
lo-fi.
I put that away. I look away and he's
Grr.
giving me the middle finger with one of his toes.
That's crazy.
Oh,
How do I repair a stun baton?
dog barking. That'll probably be the repair kit, I think.
Oh.
Which we should have 1 left.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, it is a repair kit.
Solid.
Do a little bit of a repair on my
On my kit.
my here. Stun baton.
Yay. Oh my gosh, I'm doing all the challenges. Oh, speaking of, I forgot I have points. Use those for my skills. Healing factor. Gut. Cardio. Baby boy. So fucking.
I forgot what the purple bar at the top is.
That's for your levels that shows how much.
Okay.
And then if it's ever red,
Then.
you're in XP debt because you died.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is green health and blue water or food and water?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I had my settings right.
Look at us. 4 places cleared before nighttime. So speedy.
So skilled on day one.
Really.
The cats are cuddling.
Oh, the babies.
I had to show around a bunch of freshmen at my school because I'm in the like ambassadors team,
Mhm.
and one of the kids in my grade 2 group was like, "I don't want to go see the library. That's lame." And I'm like, I was like, "Get a load of this guy. He is not studious. Bro is not studious." And
This man right here,
just, like, kept making fun of him.
unstudious.
Like, just like making fun of him. Bro is not gaining knowledge. I just kept making fun of him that day because he was being so annoying. Like, not to be a hater or anything, but he started it. This 14-year-old boy, he started it. Hey, I can punch. I think he was 14. I don't know. Hey, I only have a few more months left until I can no longer punch children.
Oh shit. Get him in while you have the chance.
I have to get my children.
I have to get my children.
Hit as many children as possible. Hit as many children as possible. I did find a freshman I will probably adopt, though.
Nice, nice.
Fortunately. Very, very swell child. But I was on my day 2 group. I was like the only really loud one because you know me. I'm so social and nice. So I had to do like half of the like group activities because it's you go into the morning meeting and then you break off into small groups and you just play games for 2 hours.
Shit.
It's miserable, but like we have to. So I just had to force a bunch of freshmen to play games, and they were like, "This sucks," and I'm like, "That sucks for you. Be fun, have a little wins, my god." Because they were like, "This is so lame," blah 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 blah. And then they started calling one of the other guys who was working gay because of the way he was phrasing things. And it was really funny because I'm standing there like, they don't know I'm a homosexual. Because I was wearing like black shorts with like embroidered stars on them. Like, I have long hair, like, and I didn't make a point of being, oh, by the way, I'm transgender.
Right.
I had a transgender pin on my bag, but other than that, I didn't really mention it. I mentioned it to the day 1 group because I felt like it,
Mhm.
but day 2 just like wasn't rocking with me at all. They were such haters. But I got to be mean to children. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. I want you to do me a favor. Go into this chest and find the aloe cream. Don't touch it. Find the aloe cream.
Okay.
Now pick it up and listen to the sound.
Ugh. That's gross. Profanity filter.
What?
You're swearing? I can't use swear words. My audio capture doesn't pick it up, and it's because I was really hoping it would pick it up. It just didn't. That's so upsetting. It's so weird.
He rocks. He rocks. Get rocks and try not to die.
I believe in you.
Thanks. Oh, maybe I won't go outside and get rocks, actually. I'm hearing noises that are a little
Does it
alarming.
scare you?
Terrifying.
Oh no.
So, because you mentioned that you're listening to lo-fi, I was like, you know what? I'll do the same. And then I happen to look at what is currently playing. Almost Awe. Not quite Awe. Almost. Oh boy. Oh. Vermont. Uh-oh. I have angered them.
I was really confused on what was screaming in my ear.
I just wanted rocks. Do you have rocks?
Maybe you should go kick rocks then.
Calm down out there.
Oh, what was that? That's a bit much.
Oh, go get him.
There is no reason you need to do that. Sit down. Have a good time. Why are you wearing a blouse? Oh, you're a nurse.
Oh, she's dead. Why is she sitting like that?
I'm sure you're familiar with this then.
Any hoosers. Hello? Heard breathing. Rock. Oh. Uh-oh. Just want my rocks. Rock. Rock.
Yeah-oh.
Oh, oh. There's a man over there. Oh, hello! Yes.
Don't do that. That was a bit rude.
Shadow, you look dead.
Shadow might be dead. Please.
Let me send you a photo of this. Oh. Rock. I wish the rocks in real life.
So true. I have some rocks for you right here.
Rock? Ah.
Rock down to Electric Avenue. And then we take it higher. Oh, that's interesting. What? What do you mean this gives me nitrate powder?
Yeah. That's because that's nitrate powder.
Nitrate.
Huh? Oh, snake!
Oh, snake. I don't like snake.
Nice.
Yay!
Oh. Hey, lady! Oh, careful. Oh, there's a nurse behind you.
Oh, that's a bit dramatic. Bit much.
Drama!
This seems like a lot. It sounds like you have a lot of feelings on the matter, and I don't want to listen to it.
And I don't want to hear you right now.
Well, look what you've done. Now I'm infected. Look what you did.
Oh dear.
Goodness. Goodness gracious.
Fun guy daycare. Oh, there's a dog crate. There might be a dog. Yay! Daytime. What did you have against the dog crate?
I'm so scared there's gonna be a dog. No, but there's a person.
Where? Oh. Departed mother, depart again. Wait, can I climb this?
That's the departed mother. And she should stay departed.
Oh, there's a basement.
Basement.
Uh-oh.
What?
I love it being closed. Oh my gosh, we could play house! Imagine staying here for day 7.
I'm playing house. I have tea. We can have dinner.
Quiet, the baby's crying. Where?
What?
Go to work, husband. You need to pay the bills. Why are you breaking the... What the fuck?
What the hell?
Why is that not connected? How about this thing? Oh.
Did you see how that broke?
Oh, you have to, yeah. Apparently cannot yump with crouch.
I'm going in the daycare. Oh, Hunter.
Will Tickle, Doctor of Medicine.
Tactical warfare.
I don't think a man named Will Tickle should be working in a daycare. Personally.
What? I hate degrees.
Fuck you, Will Tickle. Will Tickle deserves nothing. Will Tickle is... Tickle Tickle! Will Tickle is my antithesis. I am Will Tickle.
What will you do?
Nothing on my watch. Bitch slap.
Oh, wow.
Cornmeal.
Yay!
Hello?
I got scared.
Who is it? Oh, they're outside. Oh, a pink plastic trash can.
I pretend as though I did not hear.
Whoa, are you having a nightmare, Shadow?
Yay!
You got.
Yay, trash.
Yay, weathered backpack. Medical journal. Thanks, I like reading.
Yay! Eggs. What were they up to?
I like books on the floor. Oh my gosh, I can make a machine gun quality too? Oh dear.
Oh, you're what was hitting me.
Water.
You can put it in the coffee maker?
Water.
Yay!
No coffee.
Yay! Water! I love water.
Water, yay! Oh my gosh, a purse! Why is there a gun in the purse? How many bucks? Wow. I can make a pipe baton quality too.
We're bringing the Library of Alexandria back.
Arby's roast beef didn't get enough love. Breach. Oh my gosh, don't neglect the clothes on the floor. Oh, that's jam sandwich that you left behind? That's funny.
Oh, August!
Oh no!
Bathroom floor.
It's so good. Real. Nice beef and cheddar? Hell yeah. Sorry, are you dying down there? I'm having a conversation about Arby's roast beef right now.
Life.
Hello? Thank you for the follow. Horn! Hello?
By fighting for my life, I'm actually quite fine in here.
Oh, who's that? Oh!
I don't like it. It's weird.
What we got? I have bullets. I can shoot things. I feel like a true American now. Glug, glug. Oh. Hey, yo, what the fuck? She's in the goddamn walls! Ugh, lady, I did not want to see your underwear. I am not into you like that. I'm so sorry. Can you die already? Jesus. Oh, missed. You duck. Stop it! Where'd you go? I thought you were milk. Dude, I wonder if that kid knows that he's become a legend. Yo! What level's your bone knife?
What?
What level's your bone knife? How well do you bone? What level is your bone knife? Fine, you won't get this bone knife. Fuck you.
Tell you every few seconds you're cutting out. I'm so confused.
Oh no. Hold on. Try this. Where's your bone knife? Or what level is your bone knife?
Oh, 1.
Bone apple teeth.
Yay! I love bones and apples and teeth. Those are on my top 3 interests in that order.
In that order?
Bone, apple, teeth.
Whoa. Anything up there? Anything fun? Anything cool?
No,
Oh.
just a key.
Oh.
I'm
Who's
just
screaming?
unlocking doors. No, I'm not too into it though. You know what I am into?
Hmm.
The
Famine.
in Chinese in my refrigerator.
Oh.
I am also into salmon.
Well, I said famine, but...
Oh, well, I heard salmon. Maybe I'm just really hungry though. I think I'm just really hungry though. Hold on. Go grab that.
Dude, imagine just casually having salmon in your fridge. Fucking crazy. Me, on the other hand, I have pizza. Speaking like Creed from Borderlands. Minivan.
No, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Sorry, the cat started looking at me after I left.
As they should. Where's this screaming motherfucker?
What?
Not you. Wherefore art thou?
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a pump. Oh, there's a jack-o'-lantern out here.
I got a double pump shotgun.
I got a Glock
Not
in my
really.
Rari.
Ew.
Where for art thou? Not you. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The place next door is called Home of Jack Canada.
Who's Jack?
I don't know. I'm kind of curious now. Holy shit. Did someone... I think someone broke into the daycare through the wall.
That's a bit violent.
Fucking feral bitch. Where even are you? I hear you. Where are you? Hello? What's this? Rawr. Home cooking. I like home cooking. Okay, oh, wait. Is that you out there? It is. I don't know where they are. I hear them.
I found one.
Oh, garbage. Get that bitch. Oh. Oh, there's a fucking backpack. We're a mess.
Oh no, I can't believe us.
We're a fucking mess.
I can't believe we would do this.
I can.
Really? What
Yeah.
the heck?
I have low expectations.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh. Overgrown caravan. This is cute. It's tiny, but oh, destroyed dew collector. Forge ahead. Yay! I can
They were
make
keeping
the
that in
dew
the book record?
collector. Yeah. They're like, here's a book how to make the dew collector hidden in the dew collector. The door unlocked?
Whoa.
It is. I propose we live here. Never mind.
Okay.
There are people living here already.
Oh, well.
Come on out. Aw, a father and his son. Ow. Unnecessary.
Oh, cute.
Love it. It is the most unsafe place ever, but I love it. Damn. Great.
Yeah.
Fuck yo, chrysanthemum.
No. Is it like the book Chrysanthemum?
Aw.
About the kid. Do you know about that book? It was Chrysanthemum.
I don't know if I
About
do.
this little girl. And she's like, I hate that my parents named me Chrysanthemum. It's such a long name and no one pronounces it correctly and they all make fun of me for it.
Oh god.
And then by the end of the book, like, there's a teacher that's like, I think your name's beautiful. And then, like, the teacher names her kid Chrysanthemum or something.
Oh god. It's a loop. The cycle continues. Okay, so the trader
Oh,
isn't in this
you're a
town?
hog.
Oh dear. Uh-oh. I'm coming.
I am not revving my hog.
Oh. I don't even know where you were, if I'm being totally honest. Growl at me and you get bitch smacked by a pipe. Ooh. I think I knocked his face off. I'm coming. That's a biker. Uh-oh. How did I miss him? I was directly in front of him.
No, brother.
Hey, brother. Are these potato plants? No, I don't think.
No, they're hops.
Oh, the most useless.
Can you not eat them or something?
I think you literally can only make beer with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck?
beer's like a give and take sort of thing too. Like you can take it and get like boosts, but it also makes you drunk. So like it's not great. Stop touching me!
Restraining order!
Oh, I'm infected.
Hey, we all get a little infected from time to time. Go over there to the boar.
What a bore. Where?
Right here. I think I'm a killer.
Oh shit. Get his ass. Oh my god, he's just sitting there taking it. I shot him. Boar meat for dinner.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Corn.
Yay.
I love corn.
Wow. Get it, 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 get it. Anyone in the garage?
Oh.
Ooh, yucca juice.
Oh, I've lived in this house before. No, I haven't. I thought I did. I lived in a very similar house.
Huh. Oh, that is a beefy door.
Yeah.
Is there anything down here? Trash.
Me in the trash.
Me in the trash. Do, do, do.
Me in the trash.
Walking side by side.
I did not mean to pick up the potted plant.
Oh, I bet it's we have to go in the house to get into the garage. Follow me. Oh yeah, look at this shit.
Whoa.
I keep crouching and then trying to jump. I never learn. There was a man in the closet. I have since outed him.
Well, that seems a bit
Oh, there was a
polite.
man outside the closet.
Well, I would hope at some point they are. I can no
Oh.
Sorry, there was like 5 noises that started. I'm really confused and a little lost. That's my zapping the dog.
I killed him by stabbing him in the butt.
Yay!
You take this candle.
These ones are weak.
Oh, wait. There we go. Candle. Mood lighting. That way we can get in the mood to murder. Oh, hello!
Get off that computer call.
Ow! Stop touching me, I have venereal diseases.
Venereal.
Yep.
You need to find that word for me real quick.
Hold on, let me Google it and then send you the screenshot.
Oh god.
I think it's literally just sexually transmitted.
Ah.
You get it now?
I'm about to. Sorry, I just tabbed into Discord to see Shadow instead.
What? Oh. Wait.
Just Shadow.
He is venereal diseases. I promise, Shadow, you're not. I love you so much.
Ooh, books on the floor. Wolves.
Oh. Uh-oh. Aww. You're
Weekly.
so cute. You're so cute.
One minute to another minute.
There you go. Venereal disease.
There's a photo of the cat on the wall. That makes sense. Thanks.
Of course.
All this is gonna gain knowledge.
Is true.
Wait. I just got a cooking item. Oh, I got a cooking item.
What'd you
I
get?
got a cooking item.
What'd you get?
I got a cooking grill.
Yay!
I got a cooking grill.
He can cook. Let them cook, they will.
You know what that means.
Don't be a perv. Leave their underwear alone. Oh my god, that
I'm
cat.
going through their rusty barrels and none.
Why did that man beeline for me? Like, gorsh, Scoob. Please. Good shit, good shit, good shit.
Yippee.
Oh, we gotta get out.
When I'm playing a zombie game and then I'm shocked when there's zombies.
Oh dear. It's okay, I got this.
Oh, there's so many. She got multiple.
Hello? Oh, why are you? I'm gonna shoot you in the dick.
Oh dearie.
Rock-a-buck.
Mushroom spores.
I love spores.
Like before the game.
Yo.
OMG, pile of books. Shotgun Weekly and Armored Up.
Love.
I'll use them. You know I would
Whoa!
$6.
Scope! I got ammo for your rifle. Ooh, lucky looter book. Enforcer gloves. Where? Now my hands look sexy.
Oh, wow.
I could be a hand model.
Oh, wow. Oh, you have a bow and arrow, right?
Yep. Excuse me.
The August.
Yeah. Thanks. I also got 2 armor
problem.
crafting kits. Used to craft light, medium, and heavy
wow.
armor. Kill?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Kill.
Kill? Fix. Oh, how you fix my gloves? My enforcer gloves are mostly broken. How do I fix?
I usually just, like, ask really politely.
You have food on you?
It might be leather.
Oh, true, maybe. Do you have food?
What?
Do you have food?
Oh.
I'm starving.
Oh, no.
Fuck. That
We
corn.
can head back to where our little campsite is.
Yeah, let's do that. I gotta empty my inventory anyway.
Yeah.
Another Ranger's Guide to Archery. I'm hooked. My music's not playing. What the fuck?
More like Ranger's Guide to the Unexplained.
Get hammered. What if I do?
I'm making so many grilled corn.
Woo! Hey, yo, what the fuck? Whoa. I fixed it and I threw the I threw the scope on it. Aw, damn.
Mhm. Mine are both curled up, like butts against each other, sleeping.
Oh. Hey, what do we think? Do we want to try and hit the trader quick?
Yeah.
Ale. I'm good to go if you are. That. Had to fix my. Now I'm good.
Is the trader like another village over?
I'd assume so. I don't know if they spawn solo anymore. Because I thought in the big 1.20 update, that they made it so they would spawn. I think that's what it looks like. That's a big house.
Pretty average.
Okay, Mr. 10 inches. Goddamn.
Put the cars like this. Who in the SUV meetup is doing this?
Chicken! Got him. Raider!
Flash you in the face.
Whoa. 3 duct tape. That's a hot commodity. You good? Oh. Well, that answers that question.
Nope.
Got it. We got one. Oh, I chopped her arm off.
Nice and brutal.
Car. Wrecked feeds.
It's pink.
Keep on
Wrecked
dancing
feeds.
at the beat goes up. Hello.
You're not Didn't we agree your first job was gonna be free?
Shovel.
Damn. This is
Gracias.
What are you, a zombie?
More like
Decide already.
love it.
Repair. Cool. Cool.
Well,
Contact grenade. Timed
Oh.
charge.
what does that mean?
I don't know. Oh god. Sorry. And something changed. Like the screen looked funny for a second. Contact fused grenades are volatile devices that explode on contact when armed. That makes sense.
Oh.
Bitches? Ooh. They have the commando helmet. Rogue hood. Ooh, that looks hot. Rogue gloves. Nomad boots. Scat. Oh my gosh, you can buy a bar stool. You can make a bar.
Oh, you want a guarantee, huh? Well,
Yay, I
maybe
just
you
found a
should
blueberry
try
pie.
Shamway.
Oh, hell yeah. Keep it. I'm gonna raid his liquor. Just water.
Just water. Do you know how important water is in times like these?
Dundee.
Yeah. I just got a beaker.
Ooh, look at you, science guy. Bill Nye the Science.
August, we can really start cooking.
Oh. Bill. Damn, why can't we rent one of these cabins? I want to live in one of these cabins out here.
I wish when zombies like came onto his area, they just like exploded. That'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Ooh, 10 forged iron. Don't mind if I do. He does.
Alright.
That's funny. Anything in the bong truck?
My cell phone. Buy it now. Specifically my phone. My cell phone.
Fine.
Don't buy your own one. Buy all the ones that I've used. Police car.
What level is this place? Oh,
Oh,
4.
gee. I just found a really cute little stall.
Oh, cute. Oh, police car, but we don't have lockpicks. Careful, Shadow. Jesus. I almost just rolled off the desk again. Oh, it's this place. I've looted the You Move place before with, I think, Levi. Literally a house on wheels. I think we did it for a job, though. The place is very difficult. Oh, that's a dog. That feels wrong.
Ugh.
Oh, a level 1 stone spear. How lovely.
How kind.
That moment when you try to be grateful.
All for me.
Who's there? Wide load. Oh, it's only a level 1. Crazy.
Joe Bros.
You bird nest. Don't mind if I do. What the fuck are these?
You know, 2 bird nests is always better than 1.
2 bird nests chilling in a
Oh my
birdhouse. 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
It's really dusty in here. Well, probably because it's raining.
Yeah, it's foggy. Oh, 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 well, ow, wow. I don't know, why did I say ow? I was not hurt at all, actually. You okay? Oh, behind you.
Oh.
I don't have any meds for you. Sorry. Vitamin. Corn!
What?
Corn. Hello?
Aware of your reading right now. Gosh, some zombies can be so impolite.
SMH.
Not what I wanted to do.
Oh
wow.
god, his head. Savage.
Oh, that's ow.
Oh, behind you. also have a stun baton now.
OMG! Yay! What level is yours?
1.
Good.
Ammo. Yay.
Yeah, but guess what I have?
What?
What type of ammo is it?
Oh, it's 9mm.
I have a pistol.
You have a pistol? Here's your 6 9mm
That's
ammo.
all?
Oh, take that
Pistol.
ammo. Take that ammo. Ew. Your ammo?
Thanks.
Okay, let's head back.
That's not purple.
Well. Someone's colorblind.
Red.
Let's go.
So pissed I'm gonna punch corn about it.
Aid, we gotta get home.
I just looked at what's inside the combine, and the seat inside is a wheelchair, a wheelie chair, like a chair with office chair. That's the word.
Trader Rect is now closed, so get off my lawn.
You hear Trader Rect?
Hear what?
Trader Rect was like, "We are now closed. Get off my lawn." Like a grumpy old man.
Get a load of that guy. Home.
Woo!
Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. August, what's your favorite Christmas story?
My favorite Christmas story?
Christmas.
Why? What's your favorite Christmas story?
I'm partial to the gingerbread man.
Okay, okay.
I think he's a Christmas Story. I've always associated with him Christmas. So if he's not, that's awkward.
That's a little upset. Oh my gosh, more points. Yay!
Thanks. I should go pick up a cat.
I think it's pick up a cat time. Oh. Zombies disagree.
Hey, pick up a cat at Colossus. Well, that sucks for them. Picking up Kitty.
Oh, that's interesting. When you wear the Enforcer gloves, vehicles use less fuel.
Oh.
And if you have the whole set, the whole Enforcer outfit, you get 44 ammo does more damage, and 44 Magnum and Desert Vulture reload faster. Oh. Do not have the materials for this item. But what do I use though? Brisket yawn.
Because I picked it up.
That would make sense.
Yeah. loves it.
What the fuck? Who is breathing like? Here, baby boy. Come on.
Not me.
Come say hi, handsome.
Yeah.
Come here. Hi. Gross. Hi. What are you staring at?
He's ready for 7 days to die.
Falling asleep in my arms.
Oh, your
Adorable.
stream setup looks really good.
Thank you. Relax. You're a cat. Am I not allowed to pet you?
No.
Also, what is this? Get on my... Practically your bed anyway.
Brisket, I'm gonna put you on a train.
There's a river or something. I think this is gonna be my last day.
Ah.
You're not new.
I'm so new.
You're not new.
Me and my almost 100,000 points are so new. Me too, baby.
I'm
I'm
good.
gonna dislocate
What the fuck?
I'm gonna dislocate all of his little toes.
That's a
He's so
little
cute.
fucked up.
He's so cute. I could dislocate his toes.
On a scale from fucked up to fucked up, that's fucked up.
No, it's not.
It's a little fucked up.
No.
A little fucked up.
I just love him. Is it so wrong to love a little baby?
I think in this case it might be.
He's all asleep on me.
Stop making those noises. Weirdos.
Brisket, do you want Monster Zero? I don't think he does.
Damn, Brisket.
More for me. I have a heart pet. So I'm
Whoa. You think you're gonna pass?
keep forgetting, and then I remember, and I just decide to exclaim it. I have physical therapy tomorrow.
Whoa.
What are some other events that I have coming up that I can I don't think I have any other events.
No?
Mm-mm.
My parents are coming home Friday.
I thought you were gonna say my parents are getting divorced. I don't know why.
I mean, out of the 4 of them, I would not totally be surprised if 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Oh, sorry, he crossed his paws. It was very. Um,
Oh.
I have a therapy consultation Monday.
Woo!
Woo!
I've therapy.
Woo! Yep.
Therapy and physical therapy.
Damn, you just therapy up.
Yeah. True. Brisket, you're such a little baby. Did you know that? He yawned again.
Oh.
So I put his ear in my mouth. Yeah? Yeah. Good night. Close my door.
Oh, he just said, "Are the boys downstairs?"
Ah.
Which means you stay down here in my arms. You stay here in my arms. Forever and ever and ever. You can never escape me, Brisky. Never. Ever, ever, ever.
Stretch. Bye bye. They're both awake now. I don't know if that means they're gonna start playing or if they're just gonna go back to sleep. If they're both awake, it's usually a 50-50.
Mm.
You know what Brisket is not gonna do though? Scratch at my chair. Okay, little boy?
Hear that,
Can you
Brisket?
not? Can you not do that? Right, tuberculosis? Well, his actual full name is Tobias Biohazard Richard Nixon. But
I love
yeah.
that.
I'm gonna sit at a certain way so you can see him on stream.
Hi, Tobias. Squish, squish, squish.
Squished him to death even.
Wished him.
Stamina bonus. No.
What the fuck? What just happened?
I don't know.
Wah.
I don't know if you've ever had me join instead of like the normal Discord join noise, it's the Vine boom.
I love everything about that.
Pretty awesome.
It is.
Do we have any other plans that we want to do in 7 days right now?
I think other than looting and just like idly looking around for a place to live, not really. Wrench. What didn't happen? I'm confused.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That hurt a little bit.
There.
You want to go to the Slumminate apartments?
Why not?
Yeah.
Get their ass.
I'll show you who's really slumming it. Coffee.
Hmm.
Oh.
What the fuck?
These honestly aren't too bad. I would live here.
Yeah. Oh, why they're being so dramatic and oh, slummet apartment. Oh! Whoa. Beware of dog, and there was a boar. And Peggy.
And Peggy. The Skylar sisters.
Imagine being Peggy.
Get hammered.
Whoa. Whoa! Oh, we got his ass. Calm down. Oh, there's a rope up there.
Peggy, Angelica, Eliza.
Nice code Corona. Yeah, get it.
Hey, work out.
A lockpick? I love lockpicks.
Oh. Her head exploded.
Oh dear.
I'm a little disturbed that
Oh,
this there's
you're cutting out.
a zombie in here. It's a little disturbing.
Oh, there's a fire.
Lucky.
Oh! Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Oh dear.
Why is there a blazing fire?
Oh, I can't get the chicken.
Oh, chicken.
Ah!
Oh. Ew, did you see the oil over here? August?
The what?
Did you see the massive fire?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fire.
Yep. Hold on. Hold on. Got it.
Oh.
No, there's too much stuff. I don't believe that it's... I hear things. Oh. Oh, big boy, big boy, big boy. Oh!
Ugh. Room together.
Oh god! You see him explode? A pipe pistol level 3?
Yeah. I tried.
I tried so hard, it got so far. And it doesn't really matter.
Sorry,
What the fuck?
I'm yawning.
Never do that in my presence again.
You wanna do Jack Canada?
Hell yeah, let's do Jack Canada.
Oh, you scared me. Ooh. Eliza and Peggy. Oh no, I'm hankering. Thank goodness for corn.
is not your day. A machine gun?
Oh, this building. Okay, I was so confused on what I was looking at. Let me in.
Hello, 911. There's a pink-haired man breaking into people's houses in this neighborhood.
Okay. I see how they want me to do this. Ooh. Sorry, I got a little scared by the zombie noises.
She fell off the roof.
Pumpkin in the back. That's not where you're supposed to keep that.
What are you, the pumpkin police?
You ready for basement time?
I'm ready for basement time.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Promotion. I'm ready. Promotion.
Wow.
Well, if this ain't the creepiest
Yeah.
basement I've ever seen.
The flashing light at the top really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, why do they have so much garbage in their basement? What the hell?
How the whoa, that's good choice. I think we have bigger problems than the garbage in their basement if you wanna come over here.
Oh. That's lovely. And alarming.
You ready to come explore, August?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like not scary at all.
Oh.
I mean, who doesn't
Wow. I found another machine gun. We have enough machine guns for both of us.
I'm so glad.
Look at this. Who is it? Hello?
What's up? Oh,
Hello. Knock, knock, knock.
Hello.
I'm here with a delivery.
What is it?
I have a gift.
It's your favorite 7.62 millimeter ammo.
Wow. It is my favorite. How'd you know?
I know it's always what you wanted.
Always. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, ow. My toesies touched it. You did not. Oh my fucking god. The fact that I looked behind me too and your body was rolling down the stairs back into it. That's
Yeah, I'm really good at keeping my health maintained.
I'm heading back to the house. I am full. Wow. Shove me like that. I see how it is. buddy. What was that in your hand?
Steel knuckle parts.
The way that you were angled, all I saw was the very top of the bag. So you just like made this weird hand gesture at me and then stopped immediately. It was very jarring.
Oh no.
Why is there raw
Fancy
meat?
challenge. Nowhere else for me to put it. On Washington's doorstep in distress and disarray. And basically begging me to join the fray.
Whoa.
And I told him, I know you hate him, but let's hear what he has to say. I arranged the menu, the venue, the seating. But no one else was in the room where it happened.
The room where it happened?
Did they say to you to get you to sell me?
Thank you, Latex, for the follow. Very much appreciated.
Did Washington know? Did Washington know that the presidential pressure to deliver? Am I right or am I right?
So right, King.
Thank
I
you.
hate the noise of the aloe.
Squish.
Look at this. I have one of these for both of us.
Why are you gonna shoot me?
So many guns. When did you?
Eek.
Eek. Okay, so the pistol is worse if it's odd. Yo comprendo.
I don't.
Sure we had more of it. I was right. That's a crazy sound.
What?
I'm crafting the dew collector. I'm not gonna place it since we're not gonna stay here. But I was crafting it and it needed 4 short iron pipes. The short iron pipe sound is not the worst sound, but it sounds oddly like a bell.
It's a fun sound?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. Wow, we have a dew collector now.
Your neck looks so weird without your collar, Brisket. You look messed up. Hold on, Brisket's being a little man.
What a little man. Big yawn. Why do you have your teeth like that? Close your mouth.
Come again? What did you say?
I was talking to Shed, I was like, wow, big yawn. And then he like didn't close his mouth all the way. He just sat there with it slightly open. So I was like, close your mouth.
Brisket just went over to one of my blankets to start suckling so he could go back to sleep.
Good babe.
He's a little freak. He's a little freak.
Shadow, do you have dandruff? What is this you're getting all over my
Coke.
Definitely would not have guessed it, to be honest.
Yeah. Taking my antidepressants and a monster.
Whoa.
Toby's doing the thing. So, Toby's also really weird. So whenever Brisket starts suckling, Toby starts suckling on Brisket.
Oh god.
I don't know why. Like, on his neck, too.
Oh.
So, I'll, like, pet Brisket in the morning, and I get really confused because he's wet. I don't know why they do it. I've tried to stop them. My sister told me they'll grow out of it, but, like, I don't know if they will. She goes, it's fine, they'll go out of it. It's just 'cause they're babies and... Baby boys. How are you feeling, August?
EP.
So true.
And a little hungry for pee.
Yeah. How much longer do you think you have left in you?
Maybe till the end of the day.
What?
Maybe till the end of the day.
80?
No.
I guess I'm so confused. You leave the tube and suddenly, like, I can barely understand you. Just return to me.
Maybe till the
What?
end of the day. I go looting. I go what? I go looting. What?
Yeah, I love looting.
Looting.
That's why I have a gun.
Okay.
Trust me, they're connected. Hold on, wait, I have to repair some of my items.
What the fuck?
I know, I'm the worst.
I'll run around. Talk like an angel, but I got one. Oh, there's a mini horde walking by.
You're the devil. Oh my. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Message on Teams.
2 departed mothers.
Two departed mothers opposed to one?
Yep.
Oh my.
Yep. Where am I? Fast lube.
What?
Fast lube.
Oh my.
What is this?
Alexander Hamilton.
Police station. What level is this? Oh. 3.
What? Oh.
Police station level E.
Hi.
What is this? Did I run by this? Oh, there's a person I killed. Okay.
Hi, Tobias.
Hi, Tobias.
Hi, Toby.
Motel
Hi, baby.
8.
What?
Oh, there's another cock.
What?
Yeah.
Man. You doing good?
Oh, there's a house just with piss off painted on the side.
Oh, good. That's fine. You can pull out that chair as much as you want. But, like, it's pretty bad. Probably not.
Oh, he's bleeding.
Oh my.
Stop that. Imagine
Oh,
making a man
no.
bleed and then telling him to stop. What?
Toby saw images of music on my computer and got really intrigued.
Oh no.
Handsome. He is watching my screen with such intensity. Oh.
Why are you glaring at me? What have I done?
Pissed. You know what you did.
Oh, never mind. He's not glaring at me. He's fucking asleep with his eye open.
Oh, what a freak.
I was like, why are you glaring at me? And then I see something out of the corner of my eye, and it's his foot kicking in his sleep. Hello?
I know. You'd be surprised that it's wet, 'cause I saw it. Once again, don't scratch the Minecraft chair, please. You can put your face in my hand all you want, that's fine. Please don't scratch my chair. Please. Chair's on top of the floor. Chair's on top. Please. You're infected. Lick my butt. How about that? Ever think about that one?
Whoa. I can make grilled meat now.
Yay! I can, eat it.
What?
Yeah. I can eat grilled meat.
Yep.
I know, right?
Did you go up on the roof yet?
No. Now now. Yep. I said words that were coherent. Do we have any importance for paper?
Some good crafting recipes, I think you said.
Mm.
My butt hurts.
In real life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine does too.
Mhm.
Now that you mention it, me too.
I am. Behind you.
He's a zombie. He's up on the table.
Oh my gosh, just what I always wanted. A wheel.
Yay!
Yay. Oh. That's the magic word.
Please.
Damn, that's not working. Oh.
Ouch!
Yikes. Stop eating them.
have to clean my piercings. I can feel it.
Ew.
Ew.
Back to the house.
Run. August, how many days are there until they die?
7.
Really?
Yep.
August,
What?
you know why 6 was afraid of 7?
Go 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Oh. Going on a little bit of a world tour. Oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
There's like quick quick filters on the raid options.
Ooh.
So cool.